In the heart of the realm of Gur lies a graveyard of massive proportions. Countless remains of long-fallen Gargants litter the landscape. Among them are numerous Orc and human skeletons, as well as more esoteric bones, some reaching far into the sky, and at the center, a massive skull said to have belonged to a star leviathan before it was slain by Gorka Morka. This land is a barren wasteland of bones and detritus, where only the toughest of Gur's inhabitants can survive, and the bleached bones are as an omen to all who enter. And also, it's fall, which means that there's lots of amazing and affordable skeletons of all sizes that are perfect for making our very own Gargant Graveyard board.
Hey everyone, it's Zach and Adrian from Hobby Titans, and today we're going to show you how to make an epic Gargant board using cheap Halloween toys as the basis. Let's get creative.
So the inspiration for this board really comes from the book Fury of Gork by Josh Reynolds. It was one of the first Sigmar books when they were kind of figuring out the world, figuring out the lore. And it's an interesting book because it takes place during the Realm Gate Wars, so kind of when all these big epic things are happening. And in the book, it largely takes place in the realm of Gur, naturally. And it takes place in this Gargant Graveyard, where they talk about all these different skeletons from, Orcs up to Orcs and humans, up to Gargants predominantly, and then these giant skeletons from what they believe to be a star leviathan, actually killed by Gorka Morka.
Super cool,
right?
Yeah.
It's so epic and so evocative, right? It gives us a lot to play with. But there's also a lot that really hasn't been kind of decided. There's a lot that hasn't been very specific about it. So this is a really cool inspiration of kind of obscure Sigmar lore that I'd love to kind of pull out and really evoke, right?
Yeah.
All right, so first off, we need to kind of plan the board, right?
Right, exactly.
We've been playing a lot of Sigmar in particular lately, and so you had some thoughts on types of terrain that we need, right? Like what makes a typical board, in your opinion?
Yeah, so for Sigmar, we definitely want at least two what they call wildwoods, forests, because these block line of sight.
Right.
And so I'm thinking if we can find some tall bones, and kind of have like very vertical component
almost like ribs or like fingers coming out of the
ground. Exactly.
I love that.
Anything like that, we could make a forest, a bone forest.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, we need a couple pieces that are just generic cover. So to differentiate them from the forest, what I think we'll do is have them laying down more, have almost just like some rocks, some rubble, and some bones.
Okay, something that's easier to kind of just stand on, delineate that space.
Finally, of course, we're going to be on the lookout for awesome pieces that can help us make compelling centerpieces.
Yes, absolutely.
I kind of had this idea of sinking a skull into rock, which I've done before.
That would be amazing.
And having this skull kind of like maybe look up more because when we stream and the camera shoots down, I actually want the more impressive shot to be the skull looking right up.
I love this. Okay, so we have a sense for the kinds of terrain that we want, the different sorts of pieces. We have a kind of a broad plan, and now when we go shopping, we go on our quest, we can actually keep an eye out for these individual pieces. With the table planned out broadly, it's time to go on the hunt for cheap Halloween toys and props to use as the basis for our Gargant board. Appropriately, we made a trip to a graveyard of another sort, one belonging to the American chain Fry's Electronics. The iconic, oddly ancient Egyptian-style architecture was a grim reminder of this failed location, the corpse of which was now filled with the classic Halloween store, Spirit. With Brian in tow, we set off into the innards of this ancient Leviathan in search of loot. We managed to get quite the haul of strange and bizarre skeletons for only a few dollary dues each. We also made a trip to Target's extensive Halloween section and supplemented with an Amazon order or two, the links for which you can find in the description below.
Adrian, for our monster graveyard board, we were lucky enough to get a Zuzzy mat. Are you familiar with these?
I am not. This looks amazing.
Yeah, you can see it's this kind of textured latex mat. These mats actually predate the neoprene mats we're all used to using today.
Yeah, like before the mouse pad style
Before
ones?
the mouse pad
Okay,
mat.
okay.
This mat was made by two guys in their basement. They started around 2010, and they were cranking these beautiful mats out, and demand just went bonkers.
Right, imagine, it's amazing.
It's amazing, right? Even by today's standards, with all the neoprene mats.
Absolutely.
The guys could not keep up with demand, and over the next few years, I love this story because it is sort of like a MLM.
Right, right.
And I loved going onto their social media, and they had disappeared. And it started with 2-3 months they were behind orders.
Okay.
Then 6 months. And then a year.
God.
And then the guys would come back and everyone was all angry and they'd say, hey, we're sorry, we've been having production problems.
Right.
We're trying to sort it out. And we're really committed to good communication. We're gonna do regular weekly updates.
No.
And they'd be like, here's Friday, update, cool.
Yeah.
Next Friday, update,
Yeah.
great. Then all of a sudden, they're gone for 6 months.
Ghosted
They're just
again.
gone.
Oh my God.
A lot of people never got their mats, but they're beautiful mats.
This is gorgeous. And so this is like a historic artifact, really. That's amazing. Well, I'm super excited to use this.
Yeah, even though it has a very dark history, it'll be fitting for our monster graveyard.
It's so appropriate for the graveyard. Zuzzy was the name?
Zuzzy.
Okay,
yeah.
well there you go. It's the cautionary tale of Zuzzy and the Zuzzy board. So we have our mat. Let's get into this.
Let's do it.
With our parts in hand, we begin the arduous task of cutting, clipping, and cleaning these bones as we prep them for assembly. Many of them have nasty mold lines and no small amount of seams to fix up, which we do so using some milliput with a hand from our local bread. As we do this, we also begin to think about how we can upgrade and supplement our bones and pink foam in order to really bring this board to life. This happens in a couple of different ways. First off, we found these amazing sculpts from Rocket Pig Games over on myminifactory.com, which include some fantastic cauldrons, braziers, and oversized horns that perfectly fit the aesthetic of the realm of Gur, and helps build the sense that people actually live here. We also dug up this classic GW fantasy kit Brian has had, which includes oversized skulls, and with a bit of modification, we're able to successfully de-chaos it and bring it in line with the destruction theme of the rest of the board. Now it's time to fill out that negative space with pink foam, as well as cut some nice spaces for our terrain. Zach got to work shaping the rock structures that would make up much of the board's verticality, while Brett cut out said bases in sturdy MDF.
What's happening right now? This is when we kiss time.
Oh my God.
Cool, so we've got basically all the pink foam is cut. We have semi-sunk some of the stuff. We're mill-putting bones. Now we're on the priming process, which is great. So it's all kind of coming together. We have these are not the forest, right? This is just area terrain.
These are going to be the area terrain, and we'll also put some bones in there.
We've got the forest here, which of course will have the kind of rib cages and things poking up. This is one of the huts that you're doing right now.
Yeah,
right?
these are going to be the huts.
It's gonna be like that.
Yep, and this is going to go down here.
Yeah. We've also got
Oh yeah,
Skull Mountain.
So Skull Mountain.
So good.
Adrian, we did it. We made a Gargant Graveyard using really silly things that we found at Spirit Halloween and Target and a couple we ordered from Amazon. I think the spider was the MVP.
The spider was absolutely the MVP, and we weren't sure if he was going to arrive in time. We're like, oh, whatever, it's fine. It was dumb anyways, and arrives. And it's so perfect. The rib cage was perfect. The legs were perfect.
The spider pretty much gave us the forest and gave us 2 huts.
Exactly.
And spiders don't even have bones.
I know. That's the best part about it.
Just it was easier than I thought it was going to be too. Honestly, just honestly breaking some of these things apart, using clippers, and then just using whatever bone recipe. You know, I have a standard bone recipe.
Totally.
That's pretty much all I did.
And it turned out great.
Yeah, most hobbies have their own recipe, so just apply it.
I'm glad we were definitely on the same page as far as the style of bones that we wanted. So that really worked out well. And I'm really surprised and happy about how cheap everything was and how simple the materials were. I was not sure if we were going to have to really take in some extra fancy stuff to elevate them. You know, I think the fanciest was we had some of the props for 3D printed.
Right.
But everything else, down to just like the leather drapings, were literally the paper from the hobby table, just ripped off, soaked in glue, and used.
Yeah.
And so it's a really cool thing. It turned out really well.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun project.
So, of course, if you guys did enjoy this video, do like and subscribe. It really helps grow the channel. And also let us know if you enjoyed this content. Do you want to see more of it? What other epic Sigmar, 40K, or other fantasy kind of universes do you want us to see build an epic board for? Let us know in the comments below. And also, let us know what you guys are working on. What are you hobbying? Any kind of cool terrain you have in mind? Of course, depending on when you're watching this video, it very well might not be fall season, Halloween season, but of course we're going to have links in the description below on where you can maybe order some of these things year-round. As we mentioned, we got a couple of them on Amazon, basically the same price as those dollar store things. So you can go ahead and check that out and build this board, also super cheap. And of course, let us know on the Discord, or likewise, we'd love to see your own work as you kind of take this forwards.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. As we like to say around here, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, and always be creating.
Bye.